know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Hello, my lean and lit lovelies. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Get Lean and Lit with Lindy podcast. This is the weekly podcast that is focused on women over 40, focused on ways to get healthy, to stay healthy, and to do it all without gimmicks, tricks, and foolishness, quite honestly. We're doing things that actually work, that are backed by science, and that are things that you can integrate into your everyday life. So if you're down with that, thanks for being here. We're going to get started. Today's topic is something that we all need from birth till death, and it's very, very important to all of our health journeys, and it's sleep. We're going to talk about sleep, how to maximize sleep, what are some of the issues, how to troubleshoot some things, what are some good sleep supplements. I really spend a lot of time thinking about sleep and trying to maximize my own sleep because I know it's so important for every cell in my body. So today's topic is a good one. It's a hot one for me, and it's something that I'm continuously learning about. So I'm calling this episode Sleep Like You Mean It, because more and more women will approach me and saying they're doing everything right and they're still not able to lose belly fat. They're not able to lose body fat, and they're trying to figure out why. So my first question to them is, of course, after I ask them, how much water are you drinking? Are you hydrated? My next question is, how are you sleeping? The answer is almost always, well, about that, otherwise known as what had happened was, and it just goes downhill from there. So I want to spend some time really honing in on sleep and what we can do to maximize it. So the question of the day is, why does sleep matter more after 40? Because I know when we're in our teens and our 20s, early 30s, we can stay up all night and seemingly things are just fine. But the older you get, sleep takes on a bigger, significant portion of how you're going to stay healthy. So ladies and gents, after 40, sleep basically, and this is my analogy, sleep becomes the Beyonce of health metrics because it's basically the star of the show. Okay? If you're strength training, which we all should be at this point, if you want to build muscle, to retain muscle, to maximize your metabolism, if you want to just be able to carry a case of water from Costco easily, your body needs sleep to repair muscles and to lower your stress hormones. That's really the key function of sleep for the most part. So when your sleep tanks, when it's bad, your recovery is not going to be good. Suddenly your workout is going to feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck and you're not going to want to stick to it. It's just going to be miserable. So we're trying to avoid that. Last year I did a really heavy leg training day. And the night before I had only slept for about 5 hours. So the next morning I woke up, I can only describe it as like having just a quad migraine, basically. Everything hurt on my body. Even my eyelids were hurting. It was crazy. I thought I was getting the flu. I thought I was getting sick. And then it dawned on me, nope, I just hadn't had enough sleep. 5 hours is not enough sleep to then follow it by a strong, significant workout. It's different if you're just walking on a treadmill or just kind of doing something casually. I was trying to do a very heavy strength training workout with barbells, and it just did not go well. So 5 hours of sleep is not going to do it. It was not pretty. Okay, let's have a sciencey moment. Don't worry, I'm going to keep it pretty short and brief, but poor sleep increases the hormone known as cortisol. Cortisol will slow your recovery, and it increases cravings of stuff that is not good to eat, stuff that's not good for you. Cravings like high carb, salty things like chips and pretzels and those sorts of things. And when your cravings are high, it leads you to basically kind of let your inhibitions down and overeat on those things that you really, if you're in your right mind and feeling good, you really wouldn't overeat those things because you know they're not good for you and they're not helping you get towards your goals. So you might find yourself in the pantry at 11 o'clock at night eating potato chips. How do I know? I don't know. Maybe that happened to me. Maybe it didn't, but I think we've all been there at some point. So sleep really does make a huge difference in our health and just how we approach life. So let's get into some common issues that plague women over 40 as it relates to sleep. So most women in this age group that have sleep issues, they fall into 3 categories. Category number 1 is finding it very hard to actually fall asleep, maybe even impossible to fall asleep. You're up counting sheep, looking at the stars, those sorts of things. Your brain just becomes like a highlight reel of all the crazy, embarrassing things you've said since 1994, that type of sleep. You're just up, right awake. That's one problem. Second problem is you do fall asleep, but you end up waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can't go back to sleep. And then the third problem is hot flashes that basically feel like you're sitting in the slow cooker, like a crock pot or something. You're just burning up, you're sweating, your sheets are wet, your pajamas are wet. Basically, your internal thermostat has just gone haywire. Those are pretty much the top 3 categories of when sleep goes bad. For me personally, I used to stay up really late because I felt like it was the only quiet time that I had to myself to do things that I wanted to do. So I'd end up scrolling and snacking and telling myself, okay, I'm going to go to bed in 10 more minutes. And next thing you know, I look up and it's midnight and I watched a whole season of like Love is Blind or something on Netflix. And then the next day I'm wondering why I'm exhausted because I'm just, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but it happens. So sometimes it's not your hormones, it's boundaries, it's setting boundaries for yourself so that you can actually shut everything down and get to sleep. Tomorrow, there's always tomorrow to do the things that you want to do at 11 and 12 o'clock at night. That's something I had to teach myself and something I have to continuously reinforce. It's like shut stuff down and there's always tomorrow to take care of it. So let's talk about some troubleshooting solutions to some of these sleep issues. Let's see. If you can't fall asleep, try these 3 suggestions. Number 1, shut off all screens at least 60 minutes before you actually want to go to sleep. So if your bedtime is 10 o'clock every night, by 9 o'clock, your phone should be dead. Your iPad should be dead. You should not be on your laptop. I know it's hard. Don't hate the messenger. I'm just letting you know what it is. So try it for 7 days because the dopamine crash is real. Number 2, you can dim the lights in the evening. Your body needs that darkness to naturally start producing melatonin so that you can wind down and your body knows that it's approaching time to sleep. So dim the lights. You can get some of those light blocking glasses and just kind of start chilling out. Create a wind down routine for yourself that you actually enjoy. So if it's drinking hot tea, if it's stretching, if it's, taking a walk or writing in your journal, taking a warm shower, whatever you decide your wind down ritual is, make sure that you do it consistently so that you can get in that mindset and your body knows that this is what you're doing. Okay. So if your issue is that you're waking up in the middle of the night, try these 3 suggestions. Number 1, keep your room really, really cool. I'm talking like 65 degrees cool. So everybody might not like that, but that's what your body sleeps best in. It's the sweet spot. Number 2, limit your alcohol consumption. Personally, I don't drink, but I know a lot of people have wine or have a nighttime hot toddies or those sorts of things. That's not helping you at all. You don't have to eliminate it altogether, but it should be minimized. I'm trying to be a little bit reasonable here for people that need that for their evening routine, but in general, alcohol is not going to help you sleep better, even though you think it does. Number 3, make sure that when you eat dinner, you're eating a balanced dinner. You need protein, you need fiber, and you also need healthy fats. So you won't have blood sugar crashes that wake you up at 2 o'clock in the morning that feel like you're jolted out of sleep. A lot of times your blood sugar is crashing because you may not have had healthy carbs. You may not just have had a balanced dinner. So really focus on balancing out your last meal of the day. And if hot flashes are preventing you from sleeping, you can try these 3 suggestions. Number 1, try a cooling mattress. There's so many of them out there that are highly rated. Also, try a fan. Now, personally, I have a fan from Costco that is a tower fan that is phenomenal. And it was only like $45 or something like that. So try a fan if you need to cool your room down. Number 2, use light, breathable bedding that's made of cotton. It's not time for flannel sheets or anything like that, or even silk sheets. Cotton, I think, is going to be the best material to keep you as cool as possible while you're sleeping. And number 3, talk to your doctor if the symptoms are super intense. If you are just, having lots of hot flashes because of perimenopause or menopause, you do not have to white knuckle it through this experience. You can talk to your doctor, and maybe there's some hormone replacement therapy or some other prescription that can help you. Everybody's different, so make sure you speak with your healthcare provider on that one. So speaking of not being a doctor, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a healthcare professional whatsoever, but I've done a lot of research, and I've tried many, many sleep supplements over the years myself. So I'm going to talk about supplements. But before you try any of these, make sure you talk to your own healthcare professional because everybody's different. When I talk about sleep supplements, I'm talking about real sleep supplements, not like glitter dusted unicorn gummies that you've seen on Instagram. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about real science-backed sleep supplements. For me, I'm heavy on the science because my background is human biology. That's what my degree is in. So I'm always going to be heavy on, let me see the science behind something. So let's talk about sleep supplements that have been proven and stood the test of time. Number 1 is melatonin. Melatonin helps you fall asleep. You have to use it in low doses though. 0.3 to 1 milligram is the range where it's proven to be the best. You'll see all kinds of melatonin supplements out on the marketplace. Gummies, you'll see things 10 milligrams, 15 milligrams. More is not better when you're talking about melatonin supplements. The best use of those is when your circadian rhythm has been thrown off, like if you're traveling across time zones and you're kind of knocked out of your normal sleep patterns and sleep habits. Melatonin is something that's good to try for that, to get you back on your routine. Magnesium glycinate, that's number 2, is great. It supports relaxation, it's gentle on your stomach, and is very commonly available. You can get liquid forms, you can get powdered forms, you can get capsules. It's not the same as magnesium citrate though. Magnesium citrate will have you run into the bathroom, literally run into the bathroom. So if that's an issue that you have, that's separate. But for sleep purposes, magnesium glycinate has been the most studied form of magnesium. Once early in my health journey, I didn't read the fine print and picked up my magnesium citrate versus magnesium glycinate, and it wasn't good. I had to rethink my life choices and cancel some meetings the next day because it just was not a good situation. So make sure that you're reading labels and you're getting the specific supplements that have been tested and stood the test of time. Number 3 is L-theanine. This is one of my favorites. It's very calming and it actually pairs very well with magnesium glycinate. It won't knock you out. It's just something that kind of smooths out the mental noise, and you take it about an hour before bedtime. So that's something you can give a try. Glycine is really good as well. That supports deeper sleep. And there's, you can take a tablespoon of powdered glycine and put it in like 4 ounces of water. You don't want a huge amount of water right before you go to sleep. You can mix that in and then use that water to take the other supplements. The bonus with that is it also helps with recovery from strength training, helps build your muscle fibers back up. So conversely, some supplements to avoid or to be cautious with are anything that's like a PM blend with antihistamines. That's no, you don't want to go down that road. As I said before, high doses of melatonin, avoid that as well. And anything that's sold by an influencer they're saying, yeah, this cured my insomnia in 24 hours or something like that. That's marketing. That's a marketing ploy. And you don't want to, no, not today on that, Becky. We're going to leave that alone. Okay. So let's wrap up today's podcast with a simple, sustainable sleep hygiene plan. So I put together 7 steps of a hygiene plan that you can hone in on. So get your pad out, write these 7 things down, and you can start building your own sleep hygiene map. So number 1, keep a consistent bedtime and a wake up time. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up at 7 o'clock, try to do that every single day, even on the weekends. Try not to sleep in on the weekends or stay up super late because you want it to be consistent. You want your body to get into the rhythm of, I go to bed at 10, I wake up at 7, or whatever your time frame is. Number 2, keep your bedroom cool and dark. So if you don't have blackout shades, you can get an eye mask that blacks it out. Just keep everything very dark and try to keep the temperature at about 65 degrees. That's really the sweet spot that's been studied. Number 3, keep screens away from your bed. Don't take your phone in your bed. Don't take your iPad. Don't take your computer, your laptop, anything like that. Maybe even put those in a separate room so that you're not tempted to check when things buzz off or just a thought comes to your head. Even if you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't want to grab your phone. You want to just let yourself go back to sleep. Number 4, limit caffeine after 12 p.m. noon because caffeine can interfere with your sleep. So I know a lot of people drink coffee and you drink caffeinated drinks and things like that. Try to stop by 12 noon so that it's not impacting your sleep later in the day. Number 5, stop eating 2 to 3 hours before you target going to sleep. You don't want your body working on digestion when you're trying to sleep. You want everything to be, for the most part, digested before you go to bed so that your body can just focus on rebuilding overnight. Number 6, move your body during the day, every day. Exercise, walk around, get up, don't just sit. Strength train, find your activity that you really love. Personally, I love pickleball, so I play pickleball almost every day. It keeps me moving, get your steps in, and it tires you out. So by the time you're ready to go to bed, you've exhausted some of the energy and you can wind yourself down. And number 7, create your own wind down routine and try to target it to take, between 10 and 20 minutes. Not this whole big production, but keep it consistent and have it be something that you can do and that you enjoy doing so that you get in the mindset of, okay, I'm relaxing, I'm winding down, and it's time to call it a day. So overall, sleep is not super sexy or fun. It's boring. It's a boring topic, but it's necessary and it works. We need to sleep. Everybody needs the foundation of good sleep, period. All right, my lean and lit lovelies. That's it for today's episode of Get Lean and Lit with Lindy. I want you to remember a couple things. Remember, sleep is not a luxury. It's not a reward. It's not something you only get to do if your to-do list is all checked off and your day was perfect. That's never going to happen. Sleep is the foundation of your workouts, your weight loss, your sanity, and honestly, it keeps you from biting somebody's head off if they get on your nerves. Sleep is that fundamental. Everybody needs it. Cool? Cool. So if you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who needs permission to go to bed early tonight. And as always, keep it real, keep it consistent, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, ladies.
I drew you this year.
Oh, I love scratch games. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Tabitha.
They're so sparkly.
Festive, right?
You know it's a good gift when it's hard to let it go.
Kinda wish I drew myself.
Kind of glad you didn't.
Holiday scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery are great to give and even better to get.
So thoughtful.
I know.
Ready to go? At Metro Transit, we are. With more routes to more places, easy ways to pay, and more convenient options, we're ready to go further. Go easier. Go faster. Go, go, go. And go. We're ready to go. Are you?
Okay, so you wanted to apply for that Promise Act grant for your business when it first came out, right? But you didn't have your stuff together, so you did not qualify. Well, today is your lucky day, honey, because round 2 is happening right now, and there is $60 million up for grabs for entrepreneurs in greater Minnesota, parts of Minneapolis, and St. Paul. But here's some of the things that you got to have before you can apply. Now, you gotta be registered with the Minnesota Secretary of State, generate less than $750,000 in annual revenue, and you got to have your 2024 taxes filed. More of that eligibility criteria can be found at mnpromiseact.org. So go online and get ready so you can go out there and get this money. The deadline to apply is December 14th.